Hey guys, this is Lucid. Welcome back. I have no idea what I just hit. I hit F9 here. It made some really weird things happen. That's what I used to start my recording. But, yeah, we're going to talk. In the last video, I went on a little bit about whether I should do construction or whether I should do, enchantment. And I'm going to show you, well, here's the reason we would potentially go construction. You have this, which is Earth 9, which is fucking impossible to cast with any of the vanilla pretenders, because you can't really get Earth 9. Because they all come with... I mean, all the U national heroes, like I have one of them. Even with boosters, I can't get to Earth 9, even because I get the -2 built in. If I had gone Colossal Fetish, this would have been, I think, an option, but anyway. If I went the Colossal Fetish, I also probably wouldn't have Agartha right now. So, but anyway, you have this, which is really hard to cast, and it's really expensive. And most of all the Mew Atlases, which you get, which are really like the OP units, they're pretty high. They're all Evocation 8, Conjuration 8, Alt 8, Thom 8, Enchantment 8. And they cost 85. All of them cost 85. Sorry. So, pricing in here at 110, it's more expensive. Now, if you cast this Shape Mew Atlas, you get one of them at random. This is the enchantment one. This is the conjuration one. This is the evocation one. This is the thaumaturgy one, and this one is the alteration one. And then there's a final one here, which is it's basically the Pretender God, which is kind of weird. But yeah, so it's the Pretender God chassis, and he's going to give you 2 Earth Gems a month, which is pretty nice. 2 of these, so you have a 1/3 chance when you cast this of getting 2 gems per month, which is obviously really expensive. But if we look at it for the 70 version, all of a sudden now it's not... I mean, okay, it's pretty noise. Yeah, okay. You're not going to do it for the gem chin part, but one of these guys is going to give you gold. And all these are useful. The problem is they might not all be what you particularly want for whatever situation you're in the game. Like, it's 15 gems cheaper, which is like 20% cheaper than, than getting the one you want. But I would definitely pay 20% more to get the one I want rather than one at random. So, with that being said, what should I do? Should we get the Construction 9 or should we go for other ones and try to get them first? Well, the reason we would not... the reason that... load up the test game I have here. The reason that we would want to rush Construction 9 is because the research it's going to take to get all 5 of them is a wee bit ridiculous. Now, this is just some random test game I have pulled up. Now, what happens is when you have, not counting the Mew Atlas Prime, right? So the other 5, if you have them in the same province, it's these... Not this guy. Anyway, I had them all in the same province. It's the evocation one. I think these are the 5. Well, maybe I'm missing one of them. Is this the conjuration one? Yeah. Conjuration, evocation, enchantment, alteration. I don't know where the thaumaturgy one is. He was around. But anyway, once you have them all, you'll basically instantly get an event to get this guy, which is... he's the 7th. right? The 6th being the Pretender God you can get. And sorry, I keep clearing my throat. If you get the 7th, or this guy, he can basically, he's going to spread Dominion, which is kind of cool. He's immortal, which the other ones are not immortal. He has Blood Vengeance. And already has built-in, basically, the Temper Flesh stuff. Built-in Reinvigoration 5. And... oh, wait, no, he's... Oh, he's already blessed. That's crazy. That's why he has these. I didn't realize that. Something about him, he is... I don't know if it comes with being a Dominion spreader that he's getting the already blessed. Like he's blessed on the strategic map. But anyway, the damage reversal is not from the bless, but the regen, the fortitude. Those are. And the blood bond, because I was like, that's a weird thing. I've never seen blood bond on a Pretender. They also have Void Sanity, which is going to be a little relevant for Relay. But with some pretty... He also has pretty good item slots. Anyway, he can super combatant like a motherfucker, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. And we can get his magic resistance, so it's crazy. And then we put like a lead shield. I mean, we can just make him... Like, we can make his magic resistance like low 30s. Pretty easy in fights. And then if he dies, but doesn't get Soul Slayed or Charmed, we don't really care. And... we might not throw him into like huge communion armies, but anyway. That'd be pretty cool. The cool thing about him, though, is he will self-replicate. So I had these guys in the same province. I don't know how long they've been sitting here, but you can see we've got a few of them now. And each of these self-replicate. So if you get these kind of early in the game, if the game goes late, you can have a lot of them. They also can, you know, they're pretty high Earth Blood. So, where's the Father Ill-Earth? Yeah, they can summon Father Ill-Earth too, which is kind of nice. They can send Dreamheart. Well, Dreamhearts suck. Anyway, I think it's kind of cool. You also do get a discount on all these, and I mean, if you look at all of them, this one is my least favorite, right? The guy who's going to do Meteor Storm, but honestly, he's going to self-bless. We put a Ring of Returning on him. We put some MR gear. And, okay, you have to kill him before he wipes out your army. And we put armor and stuff, so he's going to be hard to actually get that first hit. Like, what I'm thinking is, like, Lead Shield. Like, Main Gauche of Parrying. Ring of Returning. Amulet of Anti-Magic. I'm not sure what I'm not sure what these would be. I mean, like, maybe even quickness, so he can move around faster, and that's going to give him bonus defense. And I'm not really sure for the chest armor. But, I mean, there's a bunch of different things we could get for the chest armor. But maybe just something high protection. So that little random shit is not going to cause him to go, and then he will just sit there and cast Gifts of Heaven from you while there's a meteor shower up. So, like, this is the worst case that I get, in my opinion. If I get this guy, that's okay. Goldmaker 30 is pretty huge, and then I get 2 Earth Gems a month. Goldmaker 30 for you, like, that's a good farmland for me. So every time I get one of these guys, it's like I got another farmland. Not quite a cap, but it's a lot. What else do we have? Resource bonus, which is actually pretty okay for making boulders. And Earth 6, which is obviously pretty huge. You can do a lot of things with Earth 6, like Earthquake, or, you know, we can forge stuff. The other thing that I wanted to mention would be cool about going Construction 8 is that an item which I normally feel is like extremely meh is actually quite good. If you look at my income here, the Dropner I put it on. It was at 65 or 61. You can see it's still at 61, even though I put it on. It's supposed to give 200 gold. What you'll notice, I'm going to go next turn, is that my income's going to go up by 200 precisely. What does that mean? It means that the Dropnir dodges your income malice. So, like, for me, I've got a 50% income malice, and it's going to dodge all my shitty scales. So, I mean, we'll pull up the real, like, my game, and we'll see what my income and my capital is. But this will be basically like having a capital, and for 40 gems, it's definitely worth it on a nation like you, I think. So that's cool. I was looking through what are all the different construction aid items I would want, and aside from that one, there's not a ton. There's not actually that much. If you look at things that like I can forge with my Pretender God, you know, this would be kind of cool to throw on to one of the Master and Slave dudes. I mean, Hal is not bad. Call the Wild would actually be okay, because I get a bunch of wolf free spawn to go with my god that's going to get blessed. That would be worth considering. You know, a booster would be nice. Getting a nice booster, I would probably make that. But none of these things are like, holy shit, you know? This is probably the best one, which this one normally I feel like a lot of times in a big game, like, I would rather have the Earth. Yeah. A lot of not, you know, nothing to write home about stuff, but that's what I wanted to show you here. But now we have to ask the question, if we're going to get that, which I'm kind of leaning towards, which is why we're doing this whole thing, if we're going to go that way, then the thing is I have to roll. We get the, let me go back to the thing. We get the 1 in 5 or 1 in 6 chance of getting a useful one. And I actually can, let me update this real quick because I actually made a mistake in it. Okay, well, here's the spreadsheet. I actually didn't fix it because I realized it's going to take me a while to do it. But the thing I have is I'm missing the Mew Atlas Prime, which is the one that does not contribute towards getting all 5. But I wanted to see how, if I'm doing this, if I just am pouring gems into getting Mew Atlases, how long on average would it take for me to get the 5 uniques so that I could put them in the same province? And so what this Excel does is it says, okay, the first roll is always going to be unique. Now that's not actually true because there's like a 1 in 6 chance you could get the shitty one. So this is going to be a little optimistic, but it shouldn't be terribly optimistic. Then the next time it's going to say, okay, well, what's the chance of you not rolling the same one you did the first time? And basically there's an 80% chance if you assume there were 5. Again, the math is going to be a little different. But this at least gives me an idea. And then it goes all the way down. And then like if you read down this column, this would say, you know, what are the odds of you rolling the same commander 4 times in a row? And it's only 1%, right? And then what are the chances after 8 rolls you only have 2? It's pretty fucking low, right? Or what are the chances after 18 rolls that you only have 4? Pretty low. So if you want to say like, okay, let's say it's a not great game, it would take like 15 rolls, right? And then if it's going to cost 70 gems per roll, and then if it's going to be, if my income's like 35, which is I think what it will be after I have Earthblood Deepwell up, so anyway, if that is, let me add a decimal to that. Okay, yeah, what's 2 exactly? If that's how many we're getting a turn, basically every 2 turns we would get 1. And so then if it's 15, how long is it going to take on a pretty bad day, but not a really bad day, to get all 5? Well, on a pretty bad day, it would take about 30 turns. Which is not terribly early, but it opens me up like what would be a good day? Like what would be a 10% chance of like, you know, Like there's a 20% chance we have it after 7, which would be only 14 turns. But the timing is a little funky. Because if you look at the timing, and we're going to go ahead and go back to the game. We're going to pull up my real game. So I'm like super on the fence about this. Super duper on the fence. Rolled right past this too. I titled this save file wrong. Okay, so anyway, there's not much that happens this turn. There's some diplomacy updates we'll kind of talk about, but you can see we traded for air and for fire gems, which I can actually trade to Calum. So I need to make sure, actually I should mention it this turn, that I trade some stuff to Calum now. So, if we look at the time, like what my research priorities are going to be, we're going to Enchantment 7. We're almost done with Blood 3. Then we're probably going to make the long haul to, or we may make this is going to give us Earthblood Deepwell. It's going to give us quite a few useful things. This one is really good. The Meditator. We'll probably get a side chomp or 2 to help site search death, depending on what Geomancers we get. So those will be kind of nice pickups. This guy casts Strength of Giants too, which is going to be good. And then this guy is going to give us... So there's a bunch of useful stuff along the way, right? Yeah. So that's one of the nice things about coming this way. But I don't know if we're going to go all the way to 8. And first of all, there's a lot of good things at 8 too. So we do need to think about missing out on all the, the fins. But a lot of these we won't be able to cast. There's no like Earth Fin we can cast. So anyway. But if we do that, like how long will it be till we get here? Probably not terribly long, because we're going to be scaling up research really fast as we start pouring money into thinking protozoans. All right, I mean, probably not terribly slow, because we're going to be pouring a lot of money into that. So what I'm guessing, we talked about this last time, but it won't be terribly long. But after that, the plug to Construction 9, there's reasons I want to go this anyway. Like I need to get Construction 4 to get my blood economy going. And then it will be nice to get, a few more items. Construction 5 is going to give me Syzygy of Dissonance, which this will give me Infernal Bagpipes, which are really fucking strong. But then we'll get Weapons of Sharpness, which can be really, really, really good. So this is in and of itself a reason to keep going. Construction 8, we get a few unique artifacts, but that aren't terribly great. And there's a few for you only. We didn't really look at them. Like one, you can spam Earthquake, which maybe you would want to do. But I also feel like Earthquake a lot of times isn't going to be great. If we combine it with Darkness from going Alteration, it could be good. But anyway. That's that. But the timing on it, I feel like it's almost going to be 15 additional turns to get here if I'm blasting away on research. And I think the same thing will apply. Like, we're going to pour research into Enchantment. Like, we're going to ramp up research until we start getting close to Enchantment 7. Then we're going to save for Earthblood Deepwell. And then we're going to start doing the same thing for construction. We'll start pouring resources back into research until we get close to Construction 9. And as we start nearing Construction 9, we'll probably start saving for spamming out like a big alpha wave of Mu Atlases. But still, I feel like it might be too slow of a timing. But then you have to ask yourself, like, what would I get instead? Well, I could be at like Alt 8, and I would guarantee that I get some of the really good alteration stuff, and I would guarantee that I get probably my favorite Mu Atlas, which is these guys. But then I really need to get that and Enchantment for that to be good. and then the other ones aren't bad. I don't know. I'm super on the fence about it. Back to this turn, though. So, but I think the reason I mentioned I'm on the fence, but I think I'm going to do it. I think we're going for construction. If anything, it's more Mimi. Now, we found some good sites. We found a flooded mine, which is going to give us water and, not water, death and earth. And we found a Earthblood seepage, which, it gives us 2 earth. Okay, one of the best sites we can find. I think we actually have 2 Earthblood seepages. I don't want to... Did we found 2? Maybe not. I felt like we found 2. Earthblood seepage. Yeah, we found 2. Here's another one. So that's really good. Our earth income is up to 17, which is pretty awesome, which means when we cast Earthblood Deepwell, we're going to be up to 38. And, by the way, we've got a bunch of Geomancers coming out now who are going to be site-searching Earth 4. So we're not going to find much behind the Earth 2, the Earth 1 guys who've been site-searching. But you can see we still have some opportunity to find more gems. Like, we'll probably get another 3 or 4 just from this land. So anyway, that's pretty good. We got these guys, they're going to go out site-searching. Hopefully they find us some stuff. I don't have my move orders in for this turn, but basically, this guy's going to site-search. I think we had some bad events. Oh, we had this one, which is actually a really good event. We got some death gems, which I'm going to trade this turn to Nabatim, and then some gold. So, we can see down here that Arcadia is on top of this fort. Now, this was an agreed trade, and it came with a nap, I believe. Calum, you can see, is making mages and some archers and some warriors. He got pinned in here where he got attacked by demon knights. He's finally gotten himself out of that situation. But hopefully he's getting ready for an attack. And we can see that these guys are forting up, which I am not happy about at all. The way I look at it is we need to take these guys out now. Forting up, I think, is really dangerous. Not dangerous, but you're going to grow your research, and I don't even know with these guys exactly what all they get out of forts. I know they have some guys who can like auto summon stuff and temples maybe, and then maybe he's just forting the temples. He also has foreign recruit mages he can get, which I don't think they need a lab, so maybe he's just doing that with a fort. I don't exactly know how that works, so he can get 2. You can kind of see them. These ones back here are the foreign recruit mages he gets that don't have magic pass, but they can research and they increase magic scales. So it's really weird too, because if we look at his Dominion here, it's like complete garbage. So when he pushes his Dominion, it's like he's going to have temples everywhere. He's pushing his Dominion. I've got Dumpster Dominion too, but I'd rather have my own Dumpster Dominion than his. Anyway, he's pushing his Dumpster Dominion in my territory, but in his own land, he has people who make his Dominion not bad. They have, like, the scale spreading effect. So, that's kind of an interesting mechanic. Anyway, I want to take him out. What is also going to happen, and we're getting news of it this turn, is that Arcadia has attacked down here. So they expanded like this. Here's the size of Arcadia. They attacked Pangaea, and Pangaea is right over here, and they are fighting the sea monkeys, aka the squids. So they've been fighting the squids, and then Arcadia, instead of, doing what's right and good, and, assisting the people fighting the squids, he backstabs the squid fighters, sees a moment of opportunity, and is going to expand. Well, little does he know that we are going to swing down with our army and bring vengeance and justice to the world by attacking them. So let's go to our current turn. So here's our current turn. We found an endless forest, which is kind of nice. Or nature and astral. That's, I think, our first nature income. Yeah. So broke us into nature. We got earth gems, and we traded away the death gems we got in that event. What I need to do is I need to try to trade away my fire gems. And maybe my air gems. I'm going to ask... in fact, maybe I might send a screenshot of just these and ask him if he needs any. So that's that. What we're going to do here is, because I have the angel egg here in Agartha, we have better research skills. So I never want to really stop, if I can, mage production here, but here we're going to, because one of the things I'm worried about in attacking Arcadia is assassins, seduction. So we're getting a shit ton of scouts. We're also making a bunch of beastmasters who are going to be dual purpose. On one hand, they can get seduced, which would suck, because they have pretty low morale. Especially in enemy dominion, they're gonna like actually seduce them a fair amount of the time. Which, you know, that's annoying. But in the battles, if a battle occurs instead of a seduction, then they'll actually do pretty well. They have a pack of lions with them. We talked about them earlier, but when they're getting auto-blessed in my army, they're going to be really nice on the front line. And then if they get assassinated, there's a good chance they'll kill the assassins. And his assassins are not really expendable. I mean, they're not super expensive, but they're not super cheap. So anyway, we're going to be getting 4 of them. And then they will be joining the army here. And the army is moving this way. I've been talking with Nabatim about attacking Thalamantha, but I'm thinking now, ideally, if Caleb is ready, I want to go ahead and attack these guys, because I'm just actually a little scared. Like, they're going to have crazy research. They're going to have charm spam, a bunch of stuff to make me not terribly happy. We're a little slow on getting... we're running up Enchantment, right? Because we're going for Earthblood Deepwell. But on the way, we're going to be picking up Mindsmiths and these guys. And so we need to get them ASAP, but anyway, we don't have them yet. That's kind of the thing. So, yeah. It'll be good to get these guys and stick them in our army. I'm a little worried about trying to take a fort with a bunch of charmers inside of it. Not only seducing me, but... You know, I'm imagining the gate... and them charming people while we're being too slow to break through the gate. So yeah, that's a little disconcerting. I'm not totally sure how we're going to handle that either. Yeah, I don't really have a good answer to that. Because honestly, just a pile of Meneids clogging up the gate be pretty annoying. Yeah, I guess if I have... Do I have my War Boulders? Can this guy lead? He can lead boulders, I think. Okay. I think one of the things we're going to do is we're going to go merge. I need to add more boulders. And these guys, I think, are going to be in the front. And because they're low HP, yeah, I think if these guys are in the front and then these guys follow in behind, they'll chop through the Meneids plenty quickly enough. I think that will work. But it could not. And anyway, if it doesn't work, we can call our god back pretty quick if he dies. It's not a huge investment, but it would be shitty. So anyway. One thing I also wanted to think about was getting even more commanders, like just get an idiot. I think we're going to do that. We're just going to go a little crazy on the commanders. Fuck assassins, you know? These guys are a little expensive. I think we'll still spring for it. I really want to get the scouts because the scouts are cheaper. But we'll be funneling in more assassin chaff, I think. But anyway, that is the plan. We're going to go take this and this. Nice thing, this will give me +1 MR, which is going to be really good. Hopefully Calum can get a lot of this. The one thing we need to talk about is, like, I think Calum should get most of the spoils. So I probably want to have like a longer term nap with him if we do that. Or I'm basically going to have to eat him. Which, the problem if I eat both these guys, I'm going to be like a huge target and diplomacy is going to go to hell. So ideally, I get rid of a player I'm scared of. Calum gets a little bit bigger. By doing this attack, we're inadvertently going to, or not inadvertently, we're going to also assist Pangea, who is keeping the squids in the ocean, which is a worthy and holy mission that we want to support. And then after that, we can potentially go in on these guys. So anyway, that's the plan. The other thing we got attacked by these idiots. It was a little annoying. They've got these lances, which are going to do... We're going to get a charge bonus. We're going to send this guy in, Valik. Valik is not going to give a fuck. Valik is going to murder them all. Yeah, he'll do Stone Skin, and then Blessing and Sacred Oil, and then attack, and that will be the end of them. They are going to get ruined. So, anyway, hopefully Relay doesn't take this as some opportunity to be cheeky. But we'll see. We will see. So anyway, that's about it for the turn. In terms of research, you see we got Enchantment 1 and 2 finished, and Blood 3. Blood 3 was almost done last turn. So, we are humzinging along. We should have 400 and then 170, so 570. We're probably 3 turns away from Enchantment 4. Barely. And if we get a ton of researchers this turn, which we're not getting, I think we're only getting 1. Because we're choosing to get the Beastmasters instead. If we get a ton, no, I don't think there's any way we make it in 2. But anyway. That would be nice, because then it might be there for the first armies. What the first one we get, the Mindsmiths, will probably make it in for like maybe the second fort battle. By which point his armies are going to have come back. So we'll see. But my timings are not, I don't think, going to get much better for this. You know, God, if he has Foul Vapors and stuff too, it's going to be gnarly. Going to be very gnarly. Yeah, like if we have to do a fort battle where we bust through any Foul Vapor stuff, ooh. In fact, it's maybe something I think about, because we're going to be... What's my nature? Oh, shit. You know, even just one... Well, no, we're going to have scouts. Next turn I'll have 2 nature gems. We're going to ferry them over here, and for the fort battle we'll spam out some Poison Ward. So I'll put 2 nature gems on a scout, and we'll send it down here. Because that is definitely one of the things I'm worried about. Because it's turn 24, which means it is definitely Foul Vapor's time. Anyway. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned next time. Things are about to heat back up.